We are seeing more and more videos like this one. Porch pirates swiping packages off doorsteps. But can your surveillance camera actually help catch the thieves? I talked with police about the value of video evidence.
Winter solstice officially occurs tomorrow. I'll tell you if that means any winter weather is headed our way.
I've never seen anything quite as traumatic as this to a small child, innocent child.
You may remember that Idaho State Trooper. He is one of the troopers who helped save a little boy's life in what he called one of the worst cases of abuse he's ever seen. Tonight we have an update on that little boy.
Welcome, everyone. It's good to have you with us. I'm Jane McCarthy.
And I'm Mark Hanrahan. Washington is at the top of a holiday list we'd rather not dominate. Over the past 5 years, Washington State had the most holiday thefts in the nation. That's according to Vivint.
Chances are you or someone you know has fallen victim to a package thief. I started by just asking around here at the station. Several people have a story.
So I came home, there's a package on my porch, I have groceries in my hands, so I kind of got through the door and I thought, oh, I need to go pick that package up. So I'm in bed that night, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I hear a squeak and the screen door is opening on my front porch. And right away I went, I forgot the package.
And I had a gentleman walking towards my front door and I thought, I don't think I know him. And then he reached around the corner and picked up the package. And I, in my haste, ran outside. I opened the door. He asked me, is this yours? And I said, are you kidding me? And so then he proceeded to throw the package on the ground and run to the car.
It was the fact that someone came on my property and stole a gift that I had bought for a girlfriend, and that was sitting there waiting to be given to somebody for Christmas.
That was my gift. My gift got stolen.
So to bring this story full circle, it was your gift that got stolen.
Yes, Laura was sweet enough to buy me a cookbook. She did replace it. Both of our colleagues you just heard from now have cameras to keep track of whoever appears on their porch. So I checked with the Spokane Police Department, who say those cameras could be the key to, it turns out, two powerful things: peer pressure and prosecution.
3, 2, 1.
During the holidays, we all up our shopping game. Companies up their shipping game. And thieves, so many thieves, stand ready for the interception. Have you ever had a package stolen?
Personally, I have, yes.
Clearly, by the number of surveillance cameras out there now.
Stop stealing my gifts. Stop it.
Homeowners have grown weary of people picking packages off their porches.
I got a text message saying that your package had been delivered, and so I'm thinking, I don't remember a package on the porch. So I go back out, double check, nothing's there. So then I'm thinking, this is weird. Okay, you can see him getting out of his car.
So Nick logged onto his surveillance camera he'd bought just for times like this.
And sure enough, I see the UPS driver pull up, drop off the package, and about 15 minutes later, this guy walks up, looks into the camera, so grabbed a snapshot and then walked off with my wife's one and only Christmas present that she asked me for. But then it's like, I don't want to say any bad words, but you jerk.
Nick burned a DVD for Spokane police, who tell me they're getting a lot more quality video these days.
People will turn over that video to us, we will upload it into our evidence system, and we will use that in prosecution of package thieves.
The Spokane Police Department does not track how many theft cases rely on video for an arrest. But Officer John O'Brien tells me they'll often recognize a person in the video and track them down. In fact, his own experience at work was enough to convince him to install a camera at home. You have a surveillance camera at your house.
I do.
And the best part of the whole thing is right there.
While Nick made a police report, apparently social media dropped the hammer on the suspect first.
Sister-in-law was mad about it, so she posted to Facebook, and then suddenly friends and people that know this guy start texting her, that's so-and-so, we know him. Like, I know his address. He's gonna be like, oh man, I'm getting in trouble for fiber, you know? It was fiber and birthday cake protein powder. It's all the wife wanted for Christmas. But it was expensive protein powder.
Apparently, the suspect saw his name and image circulating the internet because just a couple of hours after we first interviewed Nick, someone on social media told him to go home and check his porch.
And so I did, and this is what I came home to, is the stuff I bought for my wife, and then it was like, now I got to check my cameras to see who brought it back, and sure enough, same guy. Then he walks up, he puts it back, and then he takes off.
Do you think maybe he was disappointed with what was in your package?
Absolutely. I mean, fiber, who wants fiber? That's not going to go hot on Craigslist. Like, are you kidding me?
So, will this guy be off the hook for ultimately returning the goods? No. Police tell me he could still be charged with theft.
Yes, I'm like so happy that it works.
So score 1 for the good guys. Nick now has a gift to give. Now he just has to find a box.
Yeah, no box. So I got to find a new box to wrap it.
There you go.
Love a story with a happy ending.
Yes. So Spokane police say for the camera evidence to be effective, the person has to be identifiable. So that in a lot of cases means have good lighting, because a lot of times they say they do get grainy video and it doesn't work so well.
Sure.
Charges also depend on the value of the items stolen. So that could range anywhere from a misdemeanor to a felony. And then also, this is interesting, if you have a fenced yard, and if the person comes through a gate that's closed and steals a package, then that could be increased to burglary. So obviously that's a higher charge than theft.
Right. We have one of those doorbell cameras, and we find it useful just to see when a package is delivered, because you get the alert, package delivered, so then you can go home or have your neighbor maybe pick it up and put it inside their house until you get home.
That's another thing. And police recommend that you leave a note for the delivery driver to, you know, put it around the side. When we were driving around for this story, we just saw tons of houses with packages just sitting there. So it makes it pretty easy for thieves.
At least we have kind of a tool to, you know, fight back somewhat.
Yeah, and in this case, social media worked.
Got the fiber back.
Yep.
There we go. Good stuff, Jane. Thank you. Well, in other news tonight, the verdict is in for a man accused of yelling racial slurs at a group of teens at a Coeur d'Alene McDonald's. That happened back in July. A jury found Richard Savinsky guilty of battery and not guilty of malicious harassment. That second charge is a felony and a hate crime, but again, Savinsky was acquitted on that second charge.
He is called Baby J, and his story had many of you talking last week. The boy is just 2 years old, and he was rescued during a traffic stop by Idaho State Police.
Baby J had been severely abused, but tonight ISP says he's recovering, and as KREM 2's Taylor Vito found out, strangers are pulling for him too.
Troopers called this one of the worst cases of abuse they'd ever seen, but the boy's recovery, coupled with the outpouring of support, is remarkable as well.
180 degrees from where I was when I first met him.
And that first meeting for Trooper Shane Grady, it was scary. He responded to this call on I-90 in Shoshone County last week.
Absolutely horrendous. The injuries that he had sustained were terrifying.
The injuries were to a 2-year-old boy in the back seat. He was hanging on after being severely abused. The driver of this car was arrested on drug charges, but isn't tied to the abuse. Police in Western Washington are looking into that. But the boy was taken to the ICU at Sacred Heart with life-threatening injuries. Troopers and doctors saved his life. And tonight, good news.
He's happy, he's smiling, he loves to color, he's learning, he's talking to people. I mean, it just gives you a warm feeling inside. It's like going home and just going, oh, everything is okay with the world again.
They're calling him Baby J. ISP is saying that his recovery at Sacred Heart has brought troopers to tears.
Those are the people. That's why I'm here. This is what we're supposed to do.
Baby J's story prompted people who heard what was going on to reach out. Total strangers giving the little boy gifts, wanting him to know he's loved.
Last I heard was that Baby J's room was so full of toys that they have to find somewhere to store them all.
ISP says it's working closely with Child Protective Services to make sure Baby J and his brother, who was also in the car, find safe places to live. Places presumably far away from Baby J's abuser. A place where hopefully more smiles and toys could be in the works.
Oh, elated. I mean, that's just fantastic. This is the best outcome one could hope for.
In North Idaho, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.
And the organization North Idaho CASA is collecting donations now for Baby J, and you can donate at northidahocasa.org.
Glad the little boy is doing better.
Yes.
All right, to weather now. Pretty dreary day, cold, wet, and windy.
That's right, but the rain, it started to move out. But what's next, Tom Sherry?
Well, we're going to dry out tomorrow. Tomorrow we should see partly cloudy skies. Here's a look at the current Doppler radar. Mark's right. Pretty accurate description of what we've got going on here. It was really a gray, dull day. And again, the rain started around 2 o'clock this afternoon and continued. We have some snow falling in the higher elevations, but as I said before, I think tomorrow dries out. Matter of fact, the computer modeling shows that the showers really decrease after 7 and 9 p.m. tonight, and the cloud cover moves out. That's going to let our overnight lows get colder. I'm going to call for an overnight low of 31, so potentially some icy roads early in the morning, also becoming windy. I say lingering showers at 7 a.m., but probably not, and most of the day is going to be partly cloudy and much cooler. We were well into the 40s today. Tomorrow I'm looking for a high of only 37 degrees. For the weekend, we could see some snow. Yes, I said snow develop Saturday night into Sunday, then it might get a little sloppy with a high Sunday of 37. Looks like we've got a better chance of rain on Monday. And then on Christmas Day, looks like we could see a little snow develop on Christmas Day. I'll tell you more about that with your 7-day forecast coming right up.
Thank you, Tom.